This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. If you aren't expecting adult language, why even bother listening? Welcome, my friends, to the show never ends. This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. I'm your host, Jason Iapicco.
I'm Truman, and this is episode 460, a bad break. Because it was a long break.
And it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. We've had a lot of time to stew over this.
Yeah.
Mull, if you will. Mull.
Self-examine.
Yeah. Reflect.
I can't think of any other synonyms at the moment, so let's move on. Red Bull's not doing well in the Hudson River Derby. Doesn't look good considering that they lost their first match in Queens, and that's when the new stadium is going to be. I know it's one match, but still, come on.
Yeah.
2-1 loss on the road to the Smurfs. Let's get right into it. Truman, do you have tweets for us?
Just a couple tweets. Our friend Eddie said that first half was so disgusting, though getting 3 out of 6 points away on rivalry week is something to tolerate. Our friend Mike Sabo said Tolkien is the biggest problem on that back line. I'm going to disagree with you on that one. Probably not the biggest problem on this team. And then Gustavo Escobar said pretty flat performance all around. NYC FC made a night of it down Tolkien's lane. Very few offensive ideas other than long balls to overmatched forwards. Wiki was a non-factor as a second-half sub. On to the next one.
I feel like most players were non-factor that night, so.
Correct. Why just pick on one guy?
All right. Let's get into with our likes and dislikes. Truman, you can go first. What you dislike the most about this one?
I know you can pick apart this entire game because there's a ton to pick apart. But early, conceding an early goal. It drives me crazy. It's just it puts you behind so early on the road. You're already playing with a deficit. You're already having to push a little bit sooner than you wanted to. Drives me nuts. Yes, they did get an equalizer. But again, right, you're fighting from behind to pretty much start the game. What minute was that in? I thought it was like the second.
I want to say it was the third.
Yeah, it was like the second or third minute. You're already down on the road. It's just a terrible spot to put yourself in.
It was the third minute.
Okay. Yep. So it's just it sucks. It absolutely sucks. You're changing game plans. I mean, not immediately because it's only a goal, but guys, you got to be ready for these games, and that's just not a way you're prepared for it. I know it's a short week, but still, just yuck. Absolute yuck.
My dislike is going to be the fact that you got Taylor Twellman for this game.
Oh.
I mean, the one time the Red Bulls done it right, like seemed to be acknowledging us, but like the rest of that game, it felt like it was just a love fest for New York City FC. Maybe it's me. That's how I felt about that, listening to that commentary.
He does not like us very much. I think that's known at this point, right?
Yeah, but these biases aren't supposed to, in theory, be there when the league's the one producing the games. So
Max Bretto's calling LAFC games.
Oh, I know. Compound the issue for me. Saturday night, I could not watch live. I was in a wedding party for one of my best friends. Side note, mead is delicious, by the way. That's MEAD, not meat. Mead, the drink.
Mead.
So I couldn't watch it until I got home. I didn't get home until late Sunday. I think I started watching the game at like 8:30 Sunday night. So I pretty much had to go to bed pissed off.
That's just the fucking worst. That is the absolute worst.
And I honestly, once Sean Nealis got the second yellow, I turned it off. I was like, why am I going to bother watching the last few minutes of stoppage time? Just obviously nothing's going to happen. So
yeah. Oh,
and I was right.
Yeah.
Match only lasted another minute, which I'm gonna save it because it's afterthoughts. Likes for the game. I don't know. We got that we're done with the fucking game at New York City FC.
Yes, I guess so. Still early in the season. It's over with. Mine will be, though I did mostly watch the game live, it was on my phone because thankfully I was at Limitless Wrestling up in Maine enjoying actual fun. So there was that. I got to distract myself a little bit actually and, having a good night. So yeah, that's how I was able to tweet because I was literally watching the game with the terrible service that was up in Maine. Surprise, surprise, Yarmouth, Maine doesn't have great phone reception. I know this is shocking to everybody. Yeah, a little pretty much in the middle of nowhere in Maine, north of Portland, just north of Portland. But that was the good part of this game.
They only had it, get subjected to it on a small screen. Basically.
Yep, small screen, had it on my phone, had to refresh it 4,000 times because, like I said, service sucked.
And Android does not get an Apple TV app. So
correct, also correct, right? So I'm on a browser on my phone. But listen, goddamn it, I did the job. I had it. I held in as much as I could, refreshing that damn thing.
All right, afterthoughts. I'm gonna focus on the last incident, but really, I think it's the whole game was the job with the referee. I don't know what the fuck was going on that night. When you look at the stats, there was 14 fouls for us, 10 for New York City, yet we ended up with 3 yellow cards and they ended up with 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And their 1 was not even for a foul. It was for time wasting. And don't get me wrong, the Red Bulls should have ended that game the way it was going with 10 men. But New York City absolutely should have ended that game with 10 men first.
Yeah.
That tackle by Sands that was not a yellow card. I don't know how the fuck it is. It's nothing, but
I think this is the one time where what rare times you mad at the referees is shared by many, many a person. Because that was the overall feeling after that game. It was just piss poor officiating, piss poor field. By the way, that field also sucked.
So so out of the two, Yankee Stadium or Citi Field, which one do you think's the better one?
Citi Field's better, just because a little bit more room. That's the thing. Yankee Stadium is absolutely horrific. The field always looks horrific, and there's no room.
And at least from the TV, I'm going to assume that the Citi Field is roughly the same dimensions, not probably off by much, because it is a soccer field inside of a baseball stadium, so there's only certain things you could do.
Yeah.
But at least the camera angle makes it doesn't feel like it's in a cavern. Where Yankee Stadium, you can tell the field is just isolated from like everything basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks terrible. But I would probably take Citi Field over Yankee Stadium.
All right. Any other afterthoughts?
Just overall bad night. They played terribly. The officiating was terrible. The field was bad. It was. It's short week, which also drives you crazy because I'm sure the team was not 100%, as we know they weren't. So it sucks too that you're playing like a big rival, and it's just like you didn't have even a full week's rest. So, and they're going to deal with that again this week.
And New York City got the advantage of playing at home and having the shorter trip because they played in Philly midweek.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So literally just right back up the highway.
Yeah. Granted, Red Bulls like an Amtrak home, but we didn't get the luxury of playing one of those two games at home.
Right.
Which brings me to a general point I thought of. Why is it that it took until literally June for us to get 2 straight home games?
I don't know. It's so many back-to-back road games. I don't know.
Like, it's just like, yeah, very early in the season, you want to say, all right, Red Bulls, you can't play at home because of weather. Yeah, I get that. We started out 2 games on the road. So I'm just going to go purely for two plus game stretches. We've had one stretch to start the year. Once around, I think it was Easter. And then this. We've had 2-game stretches where we have not played at home. Finally, the first one is going to be this week.
And it's going to be a midweek game. Yippity-doo.
My wife asked me why the Red Bulls were playing Wednesday, Saturday. I was like, because League wanted to make up their own tournament in August and they had to put the game somewhere.
Yep. It's dumbass fucking tournament. So stupid.
You know what I just realized? We don't even get to end the fucking season at home.
Yeah, they didn't open at home. Not nice.
Didn't we go on the road for the last game last year too? Like, I think they put Nashville, right?
Yes, because that was when they actually clinched the playoff spot in Nashville.
What the fuck is this scheduling shit?
Yeah, they don't care about the Red Bulls. If it does not involve the team from Florida, they just don't care.
Even then, they don't care.
No, they'll make sure they get the preferential schedule. Don't worry.
Well, they didn't get the preferential schedule apparently this past weekend. We'll talk about that.
We can cover that hilarity too. Don't worry. We'll get to that.
All right. Anything else for this game?
No. Oh my God, we got to move on. I don't want to think about it anymore.
Pain index. I forgot to put it up, so no pain index. Let's just assume most of the people are sad/mad. Okay.
All pain. All nothing but pain.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's happy. So
no.
The only ones happy are probably New York City fans or Jesus Christ, why am I blanking on his name? Rich. Bombing our poll for fun. So
yeah.
Prediction standings, no change. I don't remember exactly what, but I know you didn't predict the loss.
No, I did not. I would never pick a losing.
Yeah, and I predicted a 2-1 win, as much as I didn't get that in before you guys recorded, so there's no way I was right.
Yeah.
So we're both tied at 7. All right. So the first of 2 home games, like we talked about, is coming up on. If I actually put the correct dates in this, Wednesday, May 29th. They will host Charlotte 7:30 p.m. Start time. Charlotte comes into this game with a 6-4-5 record, a +1 goal difference, 21 points, number 7 in the Eastern Conference. Critically, they are 1-4-1 on the road, so not a great road team this year. Gentlemen, you get to go first. What is your prediction for Wednesday night?
I mean, you got to win this game, right? The time off at home, you're a better team. Hoping everyone's well rested. 3-1 win. No excuses. No excuses in this game. I know it's not going to be a packed house. It's fucking Wednesday. It's going to be stupid. But there's absolutely no reason why they should not win this game handedly at home.
Yeah, they definitely have to win. I'm not going 3-1 only because I got to be a little different. I'm going to call a win. I'll say 2-1. They should be a much better team than 2-1, but for some reason it just feels like they won't be. I don't know why we just seem to play up or down very few times. We actually blow teams out like we should. So, but a win is an absolute must against a team that comes in with a worse record than you. So, if you can't do that, then you have a problem.
Yep.
The Red Bulls' next match will be on Saturday, June 1st. They will host Orlando City, who comes into this game with a 4-4-6 record. Here, -7 goal difference, 16 points, 10th in the Eastern Conference. But they are a decent road team this year with a 3-2-1 record. Now, I don't know if Orlando is playing before Saturday, so that record may change. But most critically, for our predictions, as we always do with this stuff, is if we're ever talking about 2 games in one shot, the second game comes with an asterisk. We reserve our right to change our predictions. So, Truman, with that in mind, what do you think is going to happen when Orlando comes to town on the weekend.
Orlando is in Chicago on Wednesday. How about that?
Hey, we get a team that actually has to travel. Great.
Yeah. Right. Of course, it's all we can subject to change, but these two games, you can't lose. You can't draw. You have to win. You're at home at both games. You're playing mediocre teams. You got to win these games. No more playing the fucking 0-0 against Chicago Fire kind of crap. They're winnable games. I'll give it a 2-0 win. Critical points to stay higher up in the playoff situation, because I don't know if you looked, but Cincinnati's gotten real hot, and that Southern Florida team's playing really well too. So these games are absolutely crucial. You want to jump back up over NYC FC, hopefully. So 6 points, no excuses.
And more critically, only 1 point right now it's 5 points separates us from the wild card spots. Right. So right now, I think we would still. I know the season. There's still like 30 games left, right? So talking standings doesn't really do much, but being in the 5th spot, you have to play on the road in the playoffs. You have to play in the stupid 2 out of 3. You got to play 2 on the road. So it's critical in that first round to get into the top 4 to get yourself your 2 home games. I agree. This should be an absolute 6-point week. No reason for it not to be. Orlando is, like I said, is not playing great this year. You have to take advantage of these teams that are lower than you. I think the only good thing for the Red Bulls is that like the hardest part of the schedule at this point is done. Like we got all of the CONCACAF Champions League teams out of the way. Like Miami, we played once. New York City, Miami, we're done with. New York City, we've played once. Like we've played all the top teams at least once at this point.
Yeah.
So it should be a relatively easier schedule the rest of the way. Now, granted, if they keep shooting themselves in the foot with red cards, it's a
right. This is now
third.
3 games, right? 3 games playing down a man.
All from center backs.
Yeah.
Fairness, Reyes was the stupid one. LA was sort of stupid, but sort of dumb. Necessary. But yes, but it was also a little necessary if you look at what was going to happen.
Right.
And then this one was just the fucking referee. So, I mean.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, Nealis will not be gone for the Orlando match. So, at least there's that. Okay, for now, I'm going to say 2-0 win as well for Orlando. I don't think we're going to be a 3-0 win in that game. I don't think it could be a 3+ goal win in that game. I don't know what happened to the team that's destroyed Miami 4-0, but we haven't seen it. We need to. We need that team back.
Well, I mean, we kind of saw it against the Revs. I mean, we saw some goal scoring going on, but these are the games, right? These are the ones where you got to beat down your opponent.
Yes. Bump the goal difference up, get some goals scored.
Yeah, Dante Vanzier's got to he's got to start coming through again. You know, we can't just keep sitting on that one great game that first game against Orlando. Miami. Sorry. Yeah, Miami. So he's got to get really rolling here.
Yep.
And these games, right, you got to win. They're absolutely critical right now.
Yes. You beat the teams that are lower than you in the standings. That's how it goes.
Yep. So then if you do drop a game on the road, it's not as bad.
All right. Gotham FC won their last match 2-0 at Bay FC. They are currently on a 6-match unbeaten streak, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, they got their shit together, huh?
They did.
Kind of scuffled early on there in the beginning of the season, but yeah, they're really on a roll now.
Yep. So Gotham's record right now is 5-3-2, 18 points, a +3 goal difference, number 5 in the NWSL. Their next match is not for a week on Saturday, June 8th versus Angel City FC. Red Bulls 2 not doing so great. 5-1 loss at Philly Union number 2. That puts the record at 4-3-4, 17 points, a -6 goal difference, number 5 in the Eastern Conference. Next match is on Saturday, June 1st, 7 p.m., where they will travel to take on New York City FC. With that, it is time for the F1 update.
And box now, box for hard. Stay out.
Fuck! Why? What I do?
Tire.
Well, what a first lap that was in Monaco, huh?
Yeah.
That's it. That's pretty much what you could
That
say.
was it.
Where four drivers were out after the first lap. And then, as Monaco is, and I tried telling coworkers about it, it's going to be a boring race because it's always boring. Minus last year's crazy rain, or bad pit changes. You win pole, you win the race. That's simply the way it is. Red Bull had a terrible weekend, absolutely terrible.
Okay.
Their practices were bad. Qualifying was bad with Max starting in 6th. Checo was in 16th.
Checo getting taken out.
And then the best thing happened to him was crash, so he didn't have to stay in 16th. Just he got absolutely annihilated. Amazing when you see guys walk away from a car that was just torn to shreds. Thankfully, not traveling at a crazy high rate of speed, but still, I mean, that car was just
Bouncing all over the place.
It was annihilated.
Three of the four wheels are gone.
Yeah. Yep. And when they're lifting it up, there's only one wheel. So again, not exciting. Charles Leclerc wins. Good for him. He was the first guy to win in his hometown in like 60 years or something like that.
I think I saw it was the first Monaco resident to win in the F1 championship era.
Yeah. So, which is cool.
Yeah.
But hey, it's making the title race a little bit more exciting. I mean, Max doesn't have this overwhelming lead already, and it's only May. But we got 2 weeks off until Canada. And again, I told coworkers, that's the race to watch. It's a track, way more open, way more places to pass, more exciting. You don't have to start first, So I think you're going to see a better race there. It'll be on the perfect time for any American viewers. It's let me see what time it starts.
Probably like 3 p.m. or something like that.
Yeah, it's usually like a 2 or 3 o'clock. I think it's a 2 o'clock race. So it's the perfect time to watch it. I also thought what was really funny is that when you watched Monaco and then you flipped over to the Indy 500, the complete change in cultures that you went from yachts, snooty rich people, celebrities, to just a row of houses with cars parked in every single yard possible and just dudes being dudes.
Yep.
And then I think it was like a 4-hour weather delay.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Indy 500. But yeah, I can't imagine having to sit there for 4 hours waiting for the rain to clear.
Oh my God, yeah, I didn't watch either. I think I saw all of like 2 laps. Literally, I flipped it on. It was lap 114. It was coming out of a yellow flag. They started the race and the guy crashed and went back to the yellow. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm out. I'm good. I'm all set with this. We can move on. So, but there you go.
All right. With that, it is time for the dumping ground.
I'm the trash man.
So I think the big one we got to talk about is Messi and not showing up to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Which I get it. I think Miami has a game Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, and back in Atlanta or something like that. So long flight plus turf plus old age and all that stuff. Like, I get why Messi and the older stars wouldn't play. I was surprised at Vancouver's reaction. Like, it's one thing to just like say, all right, anybody that shows up, if you're under 18, we'll give you some more free food and drinks. Like, okay,
yeah,
that makes sense. But then they started offering tickets to another game. And at some point, it's like, it's not your fault, Vancouver. It's
right. And also, all those people that are mad that Messi didn't play aren't coming back to another game.
Oh, because they wanted Messi.
Right. They don't care about Major League Soccer. They care about watching 1 or 2 players, and that's it. So don't offer them shit. Your Vancouver fans will be there at the next game.
Yeah.
They're going to be there no matter what. What did they make? Maybe 50 new MLS fans if they're lucky, that probably won't come back to a game, but might like follow the team. That's the way these games are. It was the same thing with the David Beckham era. It's the same shit again.
Yeah, at least you profited off the tickets.
Right.
So
Congrats. You had, I think they said it was like 51,000 people there, biggest crowd there. Awesome. No one's going to give a shit now.
yeah, you're still going to have the second level tarp off.
Yep.
So, or tented off, as the case may be in Vancouver, but still.
Yep. It's just unfortunate that they couldn't have said right off the bat, hey, it's turf. He won't be here.
Yeah. Do you see that Jerry Jones is putting grass in Dallas for the Copa America?
Well, good. I mean, you have to, right?
But I mean, if I'm an NFL player, I'm asking the question, why the fuck can't I get grass?
Yeah, I know. That's a completely different argument. Completely different. Players hate turf. Hate it.
Because it creates injuries.
Yep. They absolutely hate it.
I'm
sure they're going to say stuff when they see the grass laid down for
Aaron Rodgers
international
missed
games.
a year because of it.
Yeah. It's the absolute worst. It's not as bad as AstroTurf was, but it's not great.
All right. Anything else for dumping grounds?
Welcome to Wrexham's been fun again.
Yeah, I still don't think I've watched season 2 yet.
You haven't watched season 2?
I don't know. I just haven't watched it.
Good God, man. Good God. I won't spoil what happens to the team. I won't spoil it for you. I won't let
Thank
you know.
I really
Keep
I
it a
really want to
secret.
know if they get promoted or not.
Keep it a secret. I told someone the other day, I said, spoiler alert, they got promoted again. But yeah, I don't know. I love watching that show. I love just seeing the team's half of it. It's really about life in that town, which is really cool. To like the day in and day outs of fans trying to build that team further and further. They go up the English pyramid. It's cool. If you haven't watched it, I'm sure everyone who fucking listens to this podcast definitely watches it. But if not, just fucking check it out. It's really cool. It's Ryan Reynolds. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got. I think that's it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else to talk about either. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. Quick note, minor league baseball is fun.
Oh, there you go. See?
Yeah. You saw the picture of my drink. So.
Yep. Well, describe that thing. That was something. How much was that?
So it's what they called a beer bat, which was, I think, roughly 30 or 32 ounces of beer. And I did it once just because of the novelty of it.
Yeah.
It was, I think, for beer, it was like 20. If you did they actually did it like you can get soda in it too, and it was like 13, I think, for soda. But for 2 beers, it would have been like $23, so it still worked out cheaper in the end. Because drink prices are ridiculous at stadiums.
Oh yeah.
You saw the picture I sent you of where my seats were. You want to guess how much those seats cost?
I'm gonna say they were $12.
24.
Oh, that's still a deal. Well, 24 for a piece.
24 each.
Oh, okay, it's still pretty good. And that is single A, I believe, right?
It was high A is where I was.
Yeah. It was the Aberdeen Ironbirds.
Correct.
I fucking know baseball. See that? Damn. I know me some baseball. I mean, you literally drive past that stadium on 95 all the time. I always see it.
It was the Aberdeen Ironbirds hosting the Jersey Shore Blue Claws.
So I saw them play the Wilmington Blue Rocks. Blue Rocks, yeah, in Delaware, the Jersey Shore team.
Yeah, so they're all part of that Southern Athletic League, I think they call it.
I don't know. Right, it's high A baseball.
SAL, that's all I remember them saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just my friend and I were like, yeah, this team's in town, why not? Wore my Blue Claws hat. Unfortunately, they lost, but minor league baseball is weird because I was looking at the next day. I looked at the score because they had to play Sunday as well. So the night I went, it was a 7-5 win for the home team. The next day, it was an 11-1 win for the road team, where they brought a position player in to pitch in the 6th inning.
Love it. That's baseball right there. That means everyone got called up. They got nobody.
Well, they were, what was it? The 2 teams played from like Tuesday to Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So all the pitchers' arms were like gone, and then apparently they had to play Monday as well for Memorial Day. So, you can't have all your pitchers just like completely dead.
I got a great baseball team name for you, and I want to see if you know why they're given this name. Okay. So there's a team that plays. I think they changed the name this year. They play in Athens, Georgia, and they are called the Rock Lobsters.
I'm trying to think because I don't think Georgia's a lobster thing.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I mean, I don't know much about Athens. I don't know where rock comes from.
So
this is Family Guy, isn't it? It's the only thing I can think of is Family Guy.
It is not. I mean, you're close. You're kind of close. Athens, Georgia is the original home of the B-52s. And what song does the B-52s sing?
Okay.
There you go.
So I was partway there.
Yep. Yeah, the Family Guy was right there.
Minor league names are fun. So
probably better naming them the Rock Lobsters than naming them after a song from the other band that's famously from Athens, and that's REM, because you probably would have the most boring and depressing name ever. Yeah. They would have been like the Athens Shiny Happy People or something.
So you want to take a guess? You might know this. You want to take a guess at why the Ironbirds are called the Ironbirds?
Because Cal Ripken is part owner, and he was the Iron Man.
Yep.
And Orioles.
Yep. Damn.
Who are you talking to, buddy? Who are you talking to?
I don't know.
It's called isn't it called Cal Ripken Stadium?
It's Leidos Field.
Okay. I thought it used to be. I thought it had.
I think when it first opened, actually maybe it's Leidos Field at Cal Ripken Stadium.
Yeah, because I could have sworn when you would pass it, it had his name all over it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's Leidos Field at Ripken Stadium.
Bam. Talking baseball.
I've been there a few times. You think I should know that?
Yeah.
Although their stadium is not anywhere close to like the best in the minor league, because they have no outfield section at all. I guess when you back to '95, there's not much room for you.
Right. Oh, there's 95. Cool.
Yeah.
Probably the best one I've been to, minor league baseball. The Iron Pigs in Allentown. That's a fucking great ballpark. Awesome food. Massive. I mean, the biggest scoreboard you've ever seen in the minors. So that's right now in Allentown, PA. That's a great place. Trenton was always good. Somerset's nice, of course. Been a bunch of places. You ever been up to Sussex? That's a great Sussex County Miners. Awesome ballpark. Small woods in the background. They have a giant globe out in the front entrance that they've put pallets in, and then they light it on fire. It's the coolest thing you'll ever see.
Wow.
So there you go. There's my very mini short tour through. I've been to a bunch of other teams, but those are some good ones. Good ones you can actually go check out.
Yeah, I've been to the Somerset Patriots. That was fun. Although for me, and I don't know why, maybe it's because of the what are now called the Jersey Shore Blue Claws, or what they call the Lakewood Blue Claws. When I first
they were
started
Lakewood.
Going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always liked the fact that the Lakewood Stadium has the grass area for like 90% of the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
They changed it. Center field used to be a bar, and now it's like a arcade / playground, I think, or something like that. They put a mini golf course, I know, somewhere. I think it was in right field or something like that. But I don't know.
So very Jersey Shore. Very Jersey Shore. I love it.
Absolutely. But for me, like in the outfield, like minor leagues, for some reason, to me, just means you have the inclined hill that's grass that you can just, your general admission section, you just go sit.
Yeah, you bring your little picnic blanket, whatever.
Yeah. I wish, I don't think people would be doing this anymore. When I was of drinking age and still living in New Jersey, the Blue Claws did Thirsty Thursdays, which were great for $1 drafts. I mean, granted, it was like, I think like an 8-ounce cup, but still $1 for that.
Right.
It was like the 8-ounce like plastic cup or like that. That plus 50-cent wings every Thursday home game.
What a dream right there, the 50-cent wing.
Just literally just go down for the night, just sit in the outfield, just eat wings, drink beers, catch a game. That was great.
Hell yeah. They used to do, I think, $1 beer night. I think it was $1 beer night, $1 hot dogs at Dodger Stadium. they realized that was a terrible idea because that's where all the LA gang members would go and drink and get into fights.
Yeah.
So they had to end that rather quickly. There you go. You guys can listen to all that on our baseball podcast, which is coming up right after that.
Yeah, we're branching out a lot here.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else to talk about for Dumping Ground?
No, I think that's it.
Right. And that brings us to the last segment of the show, Truman's Terrible Team of the Week.
That's terrible.
How about I give you two? How do you like that? You like two?
Sure.
How about the span in one night? The two teams I'm going to give it to is Sporting KC and Dallas. Neither of them lost their game, but both of them blew 3-goal leads and ended up with 3-3 draws. Two teams, one night. That is embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's fucking embarrassing!
I didn't play it for us, so might as well use it.
By the way, I got to watch the first 2 episodes of Shoresy season 3, and it is fucking fantastic.
Gotta catch up on. I have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah. So there's your hockey coverage for the night too.
Rangers winning 2 games in overtime.
I was what? Huh? Who? I don't know.
Okay, I know you don't care. The PWHL finals. I don't know what they're calling it.
Yep.
But did you hear about what happened there for game 4?
No, I know there's some kind of craziness going down because everyone was talking about it. But
so PWHL, for those that don't know, is the Professional Women's Hockey League. They're finishing up their first season. It's I think Boston and Minnesota in the finals, best of 5 series. Game 4 was in Minnesota. They were in I believe it was double overtime. Minnesota seemed to have won the game and they would have won the title. But on review, it was called off for goaltender interference. And then I believe within 2 minutes of game time, Boston forced a turnover, scored a goal, and forced the game 5 back in Boston.
I wonder where they play that. I bet they play that at Gannis Arena.
Possibly. I think there's Minnesota and I think Montreal play in the NHL arena. I don't think anybody else does. Man, that Minnesota, as far as I remember, has sold out almost every game for them, which is amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Let's wrap this one up. You can visit us at patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. $1 a month gets you exclusive content, whatever we decide to do. And we're send a special thank you to our producers, Jeremiah Dempster, Steven Santos, Eddie Delecto, and Christopher Edmeck. Thank you guys for supporting the show. You can email us at redbullrant@gmail.com. If you want to call us and leave us a voicemail, 973-348-5329. You want to apologize. I think Eddie did call in before the last episode, but since I wasn't on, the guys didn't have the voicemail, which means they didn't get played. So sorry.
That means we need 2 from Eddie this week.
Yes.
So.
Well, we also have 2 games, so maybe that means 3. Right? Make up 1 plus 2 games.
Yeah.
3. If you want to, on Facebook, facebook.com/Red Bull Rant. On Twitter, at Red Bull Rant for the show. At Dr. Stews for myself. At The Truman for Truman. Subscribe to our show via iTunes, YouTube Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. Last words before we get out of here.
I don't want any actual pain on the fucking pain index this week. Nothing but pleasure. That's all I want. It's fucking pleasure. No excuses. No bullshit. Get out there, fucking score goals, and win.
We want double pleasure, too. Not just saying,
yeah.
We want double the pleasure.
Double the pleasure, double the fun.
Good. I was hoping you get that one.
Spearmint gum.
I know. All right. So for Truman and myself, this has been episode 460 of the Red Bull Rant. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, go Red Bulls.
See you later.